You may want to use a syllabus quiz to help save time on the first day of class. And in order to do so, you're either going to have to copy the master course for your particular course to your specific Canvas course, or you can export the quiz separately and import it into your course if you choose not to export the entire course. So let's go through how to do that, and then we will talk about how to modify the questions in the quiz. So go to Settings, and if you have copied the master course into your course, you don't have to do this, export and import business. This is only, it will already be in your course. You just need to modify the questions. So let's go to Export Course Content under Settings. And I've already done this a couple times. I was trying to relearn how to do it. So that's what these things are about. So let's select Quiz. And we're going to select a syllabus. So there are two quizzes actually in this course. One's an exam wrapper, which helps students reflect on how they did on the exam and how they studied for it. So that could be useful too. You could choose that if you want to. But I'm going to choose the syllabus quiz for the purposes of this screencast. And I'm going to create an export, and it usually doesn't take very long. And then when it does create the export, it will come up as new export up here. Okay, so here's my new export. I'm going to click on that, and it's going to download. You see another one down there. It's just because I've been doing this a few times. Let's open it and let's show in folder, just so we can see where it is here. Okay, so there it is. This one will work too. It's just because I've done it a couple times. So I'm just going to select one of these, and I'm going to either note where it is, but I have a hard time finding my downloads folder. So I'm actually going to copy it and just save it to my desktop so that I can find it easily. So there's that. And then I'm going to go back to Canvas, and I'm going to go to the course that I want to import it into. So I'm going to choose my 162 course. Even though this quiz is for 161, all I need to do is delete a couple of questions about virtual labs and leading and trailing sections. So I will go to Settings and Import Course Content. Okay, this is from when I tried it before. I think I've got it down now. So let's select Canvas Course Export Package. We're going to choose a file, and then we're going to go to that folder and open. Okay, so I want to select all content, and I'm not going to adjust the events and due dates just because that's never worked for me in the past. If you know how to do that, great. You're probably not even watching this video because you've already mastered Canvas. But let's import this. And there's my failed attempt down below. That's just because I selected one file from the folder instead of the whole folder. So that's been completed now. So that means that the quiz is in my course. And I can now look at quizzes. And there it is, syllabus quiz. So I'm going to click on that. And there are a few places where if you choose to use this quiz, you need to do a few things to make it customized to your course. So first of all, you need to link to your syllabus and the lab policies and procedures in these instructions so that the students actually have something to read to give them the right answers to this quiz. And I also usually have a week 1 to-do list, so I'll put it there as well. So those are the directions, and I'm going to edit the quiz. That gives me more options. These are the details. I can set the grading settings. I've set it as a graded quiz because I require all my students to get 100% on this quiz. They can take it as many times as they want. And therefore I allow the multiple attempts. But I have a deadline, and I say after that deadline, it's usually the Friday of the first week of class. I say for every day thereafter, they're deducted, 1% is deducted from their score. And that's just so that they read the lab policies in time for lab. And usually I don't have a problem with students getting 100% on time. So I let them see their quiz responses, because then they can, if they got some wrong, they can know which ones those were for the next time they take it. And here's where you adjust your due date. You can also adjust the availability dates. I don't like to end the availability, because then if somebody has to do it late, it's still up there without me having to redo a setting. Okay, so I'll go back up to questions, and this is where you really need to pay attention. I tried to put some notes in here about what needs to be modified and what doesn't. If you decide to use the big ideas and learning targets that the Gen Chem task force has written, those are on the sample syllabus and also in other places on the master courses, then this question will work for you. Obviously, I will need to change it for my 162 class, because this is the 161 quiz, so I'll do that. But you won't need to change this if you use the learning targets and success criteria on the master course and if it's a 161 course. And there are some things that you will need to change. So for example, for 161, I have a question about when they show up to wet lab, just so that they know if they're a leading or a trailing section. And so you need to put the dates in there for the weeks of wet labs. And I have, let's just look at that really quickly. So if I put this little pencil, click that little pencil, let me edit it. And so all you need to do are, I've put what to put here, the off weeks here. So if you're a leading section, you might want to put the trailing section, just so that they know that's wrong if they click it. Here's the correct dates. Here, put all the dates, just so that they know they don't show up for wet lab every week. And then something else. So for example, I had a situation where they had 2 wet labs in a row. And so I wanted to put a distractor that didn't have that option, that was just straight every other week, just so that they would really pay attention. So if you have something like that, it would be good to put it in. And then you can always edit the feedback too for the right and wrong answers. Just click the pencil if you want to do that, and click done. And once you're done, you just update the question. Okay. And so if you scroll down, you'll see questions that that needs instructor input, like that one that I just showed you. There are also questions that don't reflect across the board chemistry department policies that are my personal policies or my personal things that I want them to learn from the syllabus. And so make sure that if you use them, that they reflect stuff that's already on your syllabus. For example, if you put a question about learning strategies, put that information on the syllabus. Or if you don't want to use them, feel free to delete them. And so there's a few of those that you just kind of want to look at and edit. And if you edit it and you want to use it, then just delete this up to instructor part. I don't think students see the titles of the questions anyway, so it probably doesn't matter that much, but just to be easier for you, it would be nice if they didn't have these commentaries on the titles. So another example is for office hours. I like to have a question about that so my students know when my office hours are, but obviously you'll need to put your office hours in there. So that's it. And obviously you can make any questions you want to on this. I've found that syllabus quizzes are a great way to go, because then I can use the first day of class to establish norms, talk about, and actually talk about some chemistry. But if you want to do any new questions, this is the way to do it. Just push that button and it'll let you create a new question. I wouldn't stray from true, false, multiple choice, because those are easily graded and you don't need to intervene in order to figure out if a student's gotten 100% or not. If you want to delete a question, say I don't want a question about making an appointment with me if they can't drop by my office hours, I just push that X. So it's that easy. And then after you do that rearranging, you might want to change these numbers, but again, I don't think it's a very big deal. One more thing, let's save this. One more thing before I stop this video. I'm going to talk about what you do, like where you put the quiz after you make the quiz. So I find that it's most helpful to work in modules. And so I like to organize my course all in terms of modules. And I don't know why this is stuck. Maybe it's because I didn't make any changes. But it should not take that long to save. Let's just go to modules. And so quizzes I usually make unavailable to students. So they can't put a quiz, they can't access a quiz outside of the modules or the assignments. But if I put it in a module or in an assignment, then they can access it. So if I want to add a module, I'll say module. I don't know. I found it helpful, especially for 161, to put a first week of class module. And so if I do that, then I can easily add the quiz there. There we go. So it's there. Now the students can see it. Well, I have to publish the module first. Now the students can see it. Now, of course, I can always unpublish this if I don't want students to see it, and then publish it when it's ready. Same with assignments. I can make an assignment for the syllabus quiz. I guess it's already in assignments since I already imported it. So the students, I guess, automatically can see a quiz as an assignment if you have a quiz. And so if I don't want them to see it, I would just unpublish it. And I can make a new assignment group and move it to that if I want to. So there you have it. That's how to export, import, modify, and rearrange a quiz, the syllabus quiz, and to use it in your class.